One of the units in the Art of Hearing God, our flagship course here at Streams Ministries, is a short teaching called Public Victories and Private Victories. It's a short teaching, but it is one of those concepts that is so essential to really understanding how the spiritual world works. And here's the basic concept: that what happens in private develops a foundation that is able to carry the weight of what happens in public. Private victories just means other people don't know about it. It's just between you and God. Public victories means other people know about it. It's not just between you and God. A private victory is when God invites you to do something. Now, it's not just you deciding to do the right thing because you're trying to impress God or because you're trying to be a good person. It's out of obedience. The Holy Spirit invites you. Maybe you're walking down the road and you see a piece of garbage on the road and the Holy Spirit prompts you to pick it up. And you do. That would be a private victory because you did it. Or he wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you actually wake up and you begin to pray and you figure out what it is that he woke you up for. Nobody may ever know about that. It's just between you and him. But he invited you and you did what it was that he invited you to do. When it comes to a public victory, it would be something like God invites you to go pray for someone that's in a wheelchair and they get out of the wheelchair and everybody knows about it. A public victory would be like what happened with Peter when he raises Dorcas from the dead and the whole town knows about it and this whole town comes to Jesus. That is a public victory. Maybe you get a prophetic word that you share with the church or with an individual and it changes their life or it confirms everything that God is doing and people recognize the gifting that's on your life. That's a public victory. If you don't have a foundation of private victories, that hidden stuff just between you and the Lord, when that public stuff happens, it crushes us, because the weight of people's praise is heavy. And if we have not developed the habit of getting our approval from God and from God alone, from his smile, then when people's praise comes, we will believe their praise. Never believe somebody else's press about you. It was said once that to the extent that you allow the praise of man to build you up, the criticism of man will tear you down. If you live by the praise of man, if you live by the opinion of man, then you'll also die by the opinion of man. And that cross is way too heavy to carry. Jesus refused that cross. See, we've been called to have this private life, this secret life with God, where we have obeyed his voice in the secret place, and we know that when he invites us, that we're going to do it because we're looking for his approval. We're not trying to get man's approval. And when we have a lifetime of that, and many, many, many occurrences of private faithfulness, then when the public stuff happens, it doesn't take us out. We don't get caught up in what everybody's saying about us or to us. We just keep on turning our face back to him. Lord, what do you want me to do next? Lord, what do you want me to do next? Lord, how can I be faithful here? How can I be faithful now? Because if you don't have that life of private victories and you get the public victories, that's when there's a formula. It's almost like all the elements are right for a very public failure. And we've seen enough of those. We don't need any more. How about you and I, let's not worry about whether or not God chooses to give us the public victories. Those are great if they happen. Let's figure out how we can be faithful here and now. And if we do that, we will find that we've built the kingdom, and some of the things that heaven will reward, that will be talked about for millennia and millennia and millennia on the other side, it will be stuff that man never knew. And that's where I want to get my praise.